Think Big Goodness also left us with some Zoodiac madness. We also had Infernoid, Madolche. You know what? This was a good weekend. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Now, this is the kind of deck that I personally want to be seeing out here because this is the ignorant version of Zoo. This is where you slap down all of the good stuff and you go. Now, one interesting thing I do want to point out down here is the inclusion of the Abyss Dweller in this. I guess this is a free blink onto your opponent's turn, but you still have to get 2 monsters on the field to be able to make this. And that's kind of my problem with this is I don't really feel like you have enough value kind of sticking around to be able to do this because we don't have Barrage. You know, Monster Reborn is personally the only real way you're going to get that extra monster on the field in order to kind of get things to stick. So I feel like you could be better using this slot towards something else. But nonetheless, that's an interesting tech choice. Still playing all of the absolute ignorance in the world for this. Only 2 desires. We are playing triple upstart in here because you do want these engages to go. And then, of course, the triple eagle booster with the 1 widow anchor. Yeah, nothing has really changed in this department. Just generate all the spells and go. You know, you can still clog up on some of the zoo monsters, which a little bit of an issue. I'm also very, very shocked that they're citing the droplets. I feel like you need these cards in order to push through those extremely difficult boards to deal with. And I mean, you can negate a whole board. You just got to get 1 zoo monster to stick. And if that zoo monster sticks and you're able to climb on up into, you know, Borbo, well, mission accomplished. You know, you got the direct attack, you're good to go, and your opponent's just in an absolute devastating position. So that's pretty important to think about. I do also love the 1 widow anchor for the defensive option. You know, I guess this might be another thing too, taking an opponent's monster, but it just doesn't really seem worth it at the end of the day. So this is... The econs were also kind of cute. All right, well, that's good to see. Next up here, we have some... this deck is honestly just the whole diet version of, you know, Snake Eyes. Like, you're still going through and you're still doing, you know, Essential Snake Eyes combo and you're still doing all that madness, but, you know, you're doing just a lot of extra steps just to be playing Infernoid, which is a little bit disappointing at the end of the day. I do think that a lot of people underestimate the Noid stuff, because remember, Dankatron's not a once per turn, all right? Every time this thing pops out, it can send. So you're getting a lot of value off of this. You also do see that we are playing some going second cards here so that you can have those board breaker capabilities so you can do your thing. And it's an interesting split here on a 2-2 between these. That way, you know, you can try to force your opponent into a bad situation or, you know, board break your opponent. I mean, you've also got the super polys in here, you know, Garua, hello Ints, how are you? And then of course, I mean, you've got the Mud Dragon. Dedicating just the 1 slot to evil. As much as I look at evil and I'm like, you know, it'd be really cool if we could have, you know, some extra use for you, sticking to what we've got here I think is fine. You've got a lot of cool options in the Noid deck to have access to things. Hello Void Feast is a one of. This build's not doing any transaction rollbacks. It's not really, I mean, we don't have grass in the TCG. You might get lucky and you might be able to get a Void reignition off, but you're just doing a 1-1 split on these. Like, you do have the flood down here as well, so cool thing. All right, list is pretty cool. You've got options available to you to be able to mess around in the meta and get things going. You know, once again, this deck is just diet Snake Eyes at the end of the day. You still are going to play some Snake Eyes cards because you're fire. All right, like everything you want has to rotate and be able to do its thing. Next up here, we have Madolche. This is a very, very pleasure to see. Like, I was hoping that somebody would finally get the chance to show off the Madolche love. And shout out to overlaying a super rare on top of your ultimate rare just to be able to do things. And remember, your new Tiara La Fresh here, it's supposed to be the thing that saves this deck, because you get the during your opponent's turn, detach 1, target up to 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then shuffle cards on your opponent's field back up to the deck of the number that you return, yeah, this card is very, very, very good. All right, and then of course the Meow Corone on Link Summon, getting to add any Madolche card that you want. The fact that, to top things off, this is a Link 3, but it is also a Beast monster. So, you know, using Mr. Messengelato here as that little extender, good. I'll take it. You do see here that this build is using Dominus Purge as well. Remember, Purge is going to shut you off of Dark Water Fire. I mean, you're probably going to shift her first anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And Nib is just immune to this. Everything down here in your extra deck, yeah, I mean, okay, you have one Dark option, but like, and a Zeus. Like, well, actually, this is the only thing that really matters. I would say we are citing the Butler Rusk down here as well for the little field spell search if you actually need to do your thing. Outside of that, there are some cute little options with this. I mean, Butler Rusk getting to search for this is pretty strong, but let's call it what it is. The way that this format has been shaping up, to see Candy Treats doing good, I think is an absolute pleasure. I want to see what more we'll actually kind of see develop out here as time kind of goes on. And I hope Madolche does get a chance to stick around as a fun deck. Ooh. Dinosaurs. So I will tell you, Dinomorphia, actually seeing somebody playing Dinomorphia cards and having, you know, the little bit extra stuff in here. So you have the Misk dedicating a slot in here to the hand trap. I know a lot of people don't really try to use Misk in this deck. And I always kind of wonder why. Like, Misk being able to protect your, you know, Therizia and make sure it resolves so that you don't die to a random Veiler has always been a major like concern to me. It's like, why are we not using this? Also, having the Ultimate Conductor be a boss monster. You know how stupid the combo of this plus, you know, powering down your opponent's field with Rexstrom actually is? Like, you just get free wins out of this, and people really just choose to overlook that, and it's mind-boggling to me. Sitting your opponent's field down to 5 attack points, and then, you know, Ultimate Conductor comes through and trucks through the field. I mean, hey, it's got its merits. The rest of your deck, I mean, is just going to be extremely strong trap cards. You want to make sure that, you know, you have, I think, everything that you need to here. Trap Trick is an extremely broken card for what you need to be seeing here. The Ferret Flames is also super stupid. I know a lot of people look at this card and they're like, oh, hey, you know, there is no real value to play this card. This card is the nuts. Some people are trying out one in Modern Era. I think having the triple Ferret Flames is good enough. The only real other things to really mention about Dinomorphia are, yes, these are some like DLC cards. They do add a little bit extra functionality to it. We're also not doing the Supreme King stuff in here either. That's interesting. I'm so used to paying half my life points to summon out a Supreme King Zark and just have my opponent stare at it and go, oh, okay. And our last list here is more Tenpai Dragons. There's nothing wrong with seeing a little bit of Tenpai right now. I mean, we're heading into the WCQ this weekend. You're going to have a lot of people trying things out. Genroku just got released, which turns this deck on its head. Gives players a lot more excitement. You do see that we are doing double Fadra here with the double Genroku, which is good. You do see we are back on the one Magna Hut in this list, which is fine. Hello, Quackimera Drago. How are you, buddy? I still swear by this card. I think this card is an absolute hard carry for this deck. We are side decking the shifters. You got to make sure, you know, you have those interruptible cards to punish your opponent. And of course, the Snatch of the Steel. Man, totally power cards here, so you can do your thing. It just makes going second all the better. Also, this build cut out the Fenrirs. I like Fenrir a lot. Fenrir is a whole lot of extra burst damage, and baiting a Fenrir summon can get an Ash out of your opponent's hand, which, if your opponent doesn't know what you're playing just on a special summon Fenrir, you can steal some games. To see that, you know, I guess we're not really worried about that all that much anymore. It's pretty good. We are also doing the huge package down here, the Zelantis. We're also dedicating the slot to the Samurai Destroyer. And to the people that are cutting Moonlight Dragon, that's been a wild discussion point too. I think Moonlight Dragon is absolutely mandatory. Not only, you know, being an extra target, but the bounce effect is broken for this. Like, do not underestimate how stupid that this card can be as both an offensive and a defensive option if really need be. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.